MeteoMark Weather Show. Let's take a look at some viewer sent in photos here. Lucas D. from Linden, Texas. These are after his March 4th storms, where he saw a very stormy sky, and as you can see across the area, you can see a lot of nice ambient background light from the sunsets, and to say the least, kind of overcast in some of these photos, but a lot of the light made for some very nice photo taking. And as you can see, it's the calm after the storm and that nice reddish, orangish, and yellowish colors shining through. So thank you, Lucas, for sending these photos in. These are very nice. Now let's take a look at the lower 48 weather here into southern Canada. We take a look precipitation wise. You'll notice across the northeast a wide swath of that 1 to 2, 2 to 3 inch liquid equivalents, and some of that will be in the form of frozen precipitation. Out west here, we will get some bouts here in the Pacific Northwest, but we're really getting quiet out here as things get active back east. Let's take a look back east. We look for the day on Wednesday. This storm really starting to take shape a little bit further north than originally thought, so I'm pushing those rainfall totals further north across the New York-Pennsylvania border, and that's cutting down on snowfall accumulations. Think the heaviest snow will be from the New York Thruway northward into the Adirondacks, over towards Vermont and New Hampshire and the White Mountains, and extending up towards Maine. That's where we'll see the 18 plus amounts, and it could get very interesting as this storm wraps up across the northeast. Even blizzard conditions back across portions of the Ohio Valley here. So very interesting from Cleveland on northeastward to Buffalo, and then extending into southern Ontario province, where we'll get some of those heavy snow, even heavy snow possibly back to Detroit and maybe as far west as Chicago with some wind. Could create some almost blizzard-like conditions. So very interesting weather to say the least. Thursday, the storm really starts to wrap up across the northeast. You see it pushing up here and bombing over portions of the Gulf of Maine just north and east of Cape Cod. That will filter in the colder air and wrap around heavy snow. This is where some of the most intense accumulations will occur on the backside of the storm, particularly from the northern Hudson Valley extending over towards the Mohawk Valley, and then up towards the Adirondacks, the White Mountains, and into portions of Maine, and eventually into a lot of portions of southern Quebec and New Brunswick. So that's what we got going on for the surface map coverage. Let's look at those snowfall totals. Take a look at these snowfall totals from the northern Ohio Valley, extending up towards portions of upstate New York, particularly the Thruway, northward. That's where we're going to see the heaviest snow, 8 to 12 inches, with the possibility of higher amounts towards that 18-inch plus mark, especially here in northern New England, where we get a lot of heavy moisture bands, those banding of the snow action going on across the area. Now, if you look at the New York-Pennsylvania border southward, I've cut the snowfall totals way down because it looks like a lot of rain and sleet will mix in, cutting those snowfall accumulations down to only an inch or two. So that's what we're looking at here. Even the Poconos and Catskills only looking at an inch or two. That's going to do it here at MeteoMark. I'm going to have a 5-day outlook for my hometown viewers in the Susquehanna region of New York, Susquehanna region of Northeast Pennsylvania, Binghamton, Scranton, and Elmira. But don't forget to like me on Facebook at MeteoMark, subscribe to me on YouTube at MeteoMark.com. And here is that 5-day outlook for my local viewers in the Susquehanna region of New York and Pennsylvania. Binghamton to Elmira and Scranton. Look at this. We start off really warm here. Interestingly enough, it will be warm enough for rain and sleet on Wednesday, heading on into Wednesday night. Colder air filters back in. We're looking at a lot of rain, sleet, mixing with snow, maybe an inch or two out of this from Binghamton, Elmira southward, and Pennsylvania not looking at too much at all. Then during the day on Thursday, it just gets plain blustery, lake effect snow showers possibly kicking in, so those wind chills will be way down. Friday and Saturday we really start to warm up again, but as I've said, this system looks to not be as bad for the southern tier of New York and northeast Pennsylvania as originally predicted. So looking a lot better, to say the least. However, roads will still be slick during your morning commute on Thursday, so take it extra time to get to your destination. That's going to do it here at MeteoMark.